better than the PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now,
You said
basically.
the Game Pass on Xbox is better than it is on PlayStation?
Better, yeah. It's just like I just obviously understood that from a minute ago, but it's just more broad now, like how they put it. But we are better with software, and of course, PlayStation is better with hardware. So that's the whole way of putting it. So now that we have a way to give you more openness to the software, people take advantage of that. So the Game Pass is doing way better on Xbox because um, you're able to play a little bit more of the backwards compatibility games and all the games that are out now more easily. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But
But
there was
people
this thing
still
that they were
request.
talking. There was this thing that they were talking about. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. There was a couple of things that they were talking about as far as the Game Pass for Xbox
Mm-hmm.
being possibly a thing on PlayStation. I don't know if they're gonna actually confirm it. There's just kind of rumors going around, but they did say that the Game Pass is a good direction for Sony to kind of go on ahead and take note of, so that way that
Yeah.
maybe they could increase the amount of overall money and services that they have that
Mm-hmm.
will better benefit the people who purchase their systems, because we all know that there are more people who purchase the PlayStation than the Xbox console. We get that. We understand that,
Mm-hmm. Of
regardless
course.
of what it looks like. But the thing is, if PlayStation goes and then does something that's gonna help them overall,
Mm-hmm.
like for all of their services, like legit everything as far as their games, their in-game store, entertainment, events, just getting into different kinds of communities to play different kinds of games with other people online, that will help. But they
Wow.
gotta broaden the spectrum.
Mm. Yeah. I had someone, one of my fellow friends on Facebook was asking like for a stronger backwards compatibility because they want more of what came out back in the day, you know, in the store of like, so they could choose that game too and stuff like that. Like I heard somebody was talking about like, well, that was on PlayStation, but they had the Uzumaki Chronicles and all that stuff. People still looking for that. It was Red Faction, I think it was called, or something like that, and something
Oh,
else. Like it was a lot of games they was bringing up. I was like, oh, that's what y'all want to play. Like the other person I was speaking to personally, he was just saying he just want more of everything that Xbox had when it first, came out. And I was like, okay, that's a possibility. I do want that too because I want NFL Streets. Like I want all those games, and then I want the NBA Streets, and I want that more, accessible to play and stuff like that because that was my favorite game to play, like on Xbox when I first got it. So if
right.
they able to do that, that would be awesome. But I don't know how that's gonna work. What was that other game? Damn, I have it on my page on Instagram, but back I think it was Jet Li in the game. It was Jet Li, and he had a whole story. What was that? Rise of Honor, I think it was. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to sit here and remember, but I it just it doesn't ring to me.
Okay, I know. Since we over here requesting for a stronger backwards compatibility, I would love for Rise of Honor to be one of those games. I know that was a PlayStation, but back in the day, I was playing PlayStation more. Before I switched over to Xbox, I went from PlayStation 1, 2, and then for the 3, I went for Xbox. It was just like I'm settling for that now because literally me and my best friend we invested so much time into that. It was very sentimental to me, and then I started liking Halo more, and then Gears and all that type of stuff. The exclusive. I want to continue that. You know what I'm saying? Because one day I feel like we'll probably join again on this game and everything. But as time keep going, like people keep worrying about time. Basically, you know what I'm saying? They don't manage time correctly in a way where they like, yo, we'll have this time again. You know what I'm saying? But It's just weird to me how that works. But I know like the stuff that came up back in the day is still good today if you really bring the backwards compatibility back and all that. So that's what I'm hoping
Yeah,
for.
I think PlayStation had been kind of slowly getting into the rhythm of doing that because I think
Yeah.
they brought back a couple of different big big titles that people like to play back on like the PlayStation 2 days just for all the nostalgia. I'm not sure if they did
Mhm.
Spyro, but I know for a fact that they did Jack and Daxter.
Yeah, that was another thing. They didn't bring Jack and Daxter. Somebody was saying that they wanted more of the Jack and Daxter games from back in the day back out and all that stuff. Or was it Ratchet and Clank or something? But I think it was Jack and Daxter.
It was definitely Jack and Daxter. I remember reading an
Okay.
article over it. So that
Okay.
was really dope when I heard that. I was like, man, I really wish I had a PlayStation.
Mhm.
but but I'm really glad to see that they did what they did because that's a level up for them. Like
Mhm.
that's really cool.
Truly. Truly. And then what else news did they say? Basically, if the craziest news was if Xbox make Call of Duty exclusive, Sony would lose $260 million, and I was like, that's OD, yo. Like, but if that really went through and that deal happened, supposedly Amazon and Apple and all these other type companies that could afford it will have to get involved and then try to keep PlayStation afloat, but PlayStation will never be the same again just because of this powerful move that we have going on right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like an unstoppable three. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody might make that. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what they would lose if they really made it exclusive. But me personally, I was like, Sony could keep their 260 million because I don't want them to be, out of the competition of what I want to, have for the, I guess forever for the rest of our lives and stuff like that. Because I do enjoy like competition, so I wouldn't want to, make them handicapped like that. So
Honestly,
I
don't
don't
think
know.
they'd be too handicapped after a $260 million loss. They're a pretty big company.
Supposedly they can't afford to lose that much money, but if they can, what I'm saying,
Oh, they
go
could
right
definitely
along,
lose
what I'm
it.
saying. But I
They
think
could
personally
definitely lose
they
it.
need it, so I was like, I would let them keep that money. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's a
I'm
load of
not greedy
rubbish.
for the money. I like the work more than the money. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, of
it's
course, as
crazy.
gamers, we definitely enjoy the work more than the money
Word.
because we
That's
like
fact.
to play a game where we don't have to deal with everything that makes a game bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think the
Yeah.
only game that actually, well, yeah, I really hate to say it. The only game that I really enjoyed that had a mass amount of problems with it, but still felt somewhat smooth, was Skate
Mm-hmm.
3
Oh.
because
Mm-hmm.
a couple of small moves and the easiest glitch could happen where you could fall straight through the floor
That's all day, man.
or you could bounce maybe 30 feet into the air.
Wow.
Or a different glitch where maybe maybe you lose the board underneath your feet and now you're speeding down a hill at about 100 miles an hour. Like
Oh,
that
that's
kind of
all day.
stuff can just happen for no reason. And they take advantage of that in game even today. They don't care. Updates
Mm.
weren't made and there were
It's still.
it's mostly because it was just a game that was, thrown down due to EA's inability to kind of give them more time to work on the game as a whole. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there weren't a lot of updates that could have been made to make the game flow smoother. But at the same time, it's not a bad game either because a lot of people enjoyed it for all the many problems that it had, and they took advantage of it for the better of their ability.
Oh.
So it's just one of those kind of games. I just put it like that.
Mm. It's just wild. Like I feel like as game developers and understanding what's going on, like people need to take that more serious though. Like soon as like the game come out, like I just played Grand Theft Auto on the Switch. and what was his name? Caesar. His fingers was like freaking 10 foot long fingers or some crap, yo. Like it was crazy. I was just like, yo, like where's the update? Like now, when I make a game and I see that happened, yo, I'm flipping balls, yo. Like I don't know, yo. Like it's crazy. Like I gotta rush to go fix that because I don't want that to, affect the whole gameplay and everything of what I'm trying to, do. Even if it's a remaster, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the remaster should be better because you mastered the art of it already, and then now the second part should be easier in a way where you kind of like trying to show people like, look, I love this. Boom, look at this. I couldn't believe they let that just slide like that. I think it's probably still like that and everything. I would like to personally, update things quick, fast, in a hurry. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's just important.
Well,
That's
if
just
not
an
that,
important
then
aspect.
give people time to kind of work on games as a whole. You know what I mean? Because the
Yeah.
big thing about being an artist and the big thing about being a game developer, because you and I, we both know that we've gone through some difficult things being in the school that we were in. Uh, just trying to get stuff done within a certain deadline. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of time, so you have to put stuff down as best as you can so that way that you meet that expectation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's once you do that and then you upload it up onto this online forum, everybody's gonna give you different kinds of reviews and tell you what needs to be worked on. Either that or
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna give you a lot of crap for it. So when you go back and then you fix those mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
now you got more mistakes to fix because you went and fixed those other ones. And that's the harder
Yeah,
part about being a game designer too, because coding is no joke.
I
You fix
know.
one code, another code breaks, and it's
That's
repetition.
wild. Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that I didn't have to go through that necessarily. I read about some kinds of code and what does this, what does that, and the other. Python ML
Algorithm.
are a nightmare, but
All about that algorithm and all that. I know. True. I'm so deeply, strongly invested into this stuff too. I'm like, I want to do everything now. You know what I'm saying? Like because I feel like there's always a way to make something better. It's just like how interested are you in it to win it? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But
that's
I'm down to
facts.
code. I'm down to code. Remember, G was coding. So
I'm
he
not.
was really keeping us
You
real.
can have it.
I saw when I was watching
Nope.
G code. You know what I'm saying? Like Greg was really coding that joint, and I was just impressed. I was just like, wow, yo. You know what I'm saying? And he was giving me the intel of like what he wanted to make for his app, and I was just like, wow, yo, like that's amazing. Just watching that, I was like, I want to create like a game from scratch. I don't want to always have to depend on what they're giving me. I want to kind of give us a way out on like what we could really do on like with the gaming like software and everything to where like we don't have to use Unreal Engine 5 or maybe we don't have to even use Maya, yo. You know what I'm saying? We could probably make something better than Maya. I don't know. It's like I just feel like there's always something better if you really,
Okay, let's
you
not
know
go
what I'm saying,
reaching here.
make from scratch. I believe in it like that strongly, you know what I'm saying? Me coming from New York, I believe that we have a stronger way of like being authentic on things. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to music, art, anything, like that's just a feeling, and you have to believe in it. You have to stand on it, and that's what I've been going to people, telling them like, yo, I code, I I freaking make movies because I've been learning a lot from what people are showing me, and then to where I feel like, yo, I could do that too. Yo, it's not that bad. You just gotta really take the time, to be like, okay, I want to do this. When this happened, and this happened. Now I have more time to, really sit on it and just go ahead and do that. Why not? You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
I just want to take the bigger chance. You know what I'm saying? We only live one time, and we act like we don't. You know what I'm saying? So let's live once for this stuff that we could really make come true. Because I want to make a game that's not just a game. I wanted to really teach a lesson because I hate that when I bring up something to somebody and they kind of throw it back in my face and it make me feel like I'm just ignorant and I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I kind of want to prove a point. So it's like, why not? Take that chance and then be like, look back upon that and be like, wow, I knew I could do that. Now look at how everybody want to use this instead of what they already had. You know what I'm saying? It goes from Unreal to a real engine now. You know what I'm saying? Like they got a real engine now. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want something uniquely better out there. Like I want a game like how I like how Call of Duty. Like I was watching um what's his name? Diller,
No.
the dude that I sent you the video on, and you watching him play the story while he's talking about the whole news. And I'm watching people get shot and killed and this, that, and the other. But what took away from it was like somebody got shot in the head, but there was no hole in the head. Um, I was watching the Grand Theft Auto, like the car was smoking. Instead of the car being covered in smoke, it was just like a container type smoke. Like as if it was in like a glass um square or triangle, whatever whatever shape or whatever it is. It was like it was something that was covering it. But yeah, it's freely in the air, but it didn't feel like it was freely in the air. Like there's a lot of things that they just letting go by because they're like, oh, people gonna buy this because we already did the hardest part already. You know what I'm saying? They're not even taking concern about it no more. So I'm like, wow, yo, who's going to be the one to, take the stand? You know what I'm saying? It's like there's poverty going on around us, and we are like, it's not happening. It's just like that's what they're doing in
Mhm.
gaming, like, to where there's things that are not mathematically making sense if you're really looking at it and taking caution in the detail that people are not caring about. And I'm like, wow, yo, I want to be that person that just really can take concern on that because I know my friends and everybody else smart enough to be like, let's sit down and let's make this happen, and it really happens. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what I just want to do. So that's just me putting that, in the air, just making that be known. But it's crazy, yo. It's just like that.
Got a
But
brand new
on to
flavor in
other
your ear.
news, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got that
Oh,
song stuck in my head.
Safe area
word.
detected.
Brand new
But on to
flavor
what
in
song?
your ear. Got the brand new flavor in your ear.
Oh, word. Oh, what's that? What the other news that I was going to bring up? The only companies that are interested in Xbox supposedly is Sega. That's the only place in Japan that's interested in Xbox, and I think that's wild because they got a lot of companies out there. I got my roommate here. He's been telling me like, "Oh, you should even try to become an entrepreneur with what you're doing because that's too hard. Why don't you go overseas and see what happens and stuff like that?" But I feel like that would be a waste of time because of what I'm interested in. You're not going to be interested in, and a lot of the things that I find okay, you're not going to find okay because I look at things more realistically than most. I feel, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like a lot of things that is wrong in the world is really wrong because I'm like that's a real thing that really happens and you should capture that and use that in a way of like making something more interesting instead of hiding it and acting like it doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm just more sequential with things. I don't know how to even put it. There's a word for it,
Hostile
but
control post
hopefully,
detected.
when people are listening and understanding where I'm coming from, they be like, "Oh, I know what he means," because
Your
like
goal is to
we just
create
had the first game,
continuous
that
response for
Cyberpunk game. I was like, "Yo,
unnecessary
that was the first
interrogations.
game when
Information
they
is
had
stored on a
someone naked,
military-grade laptop.
but they
Only
still to this day, they didn't catch the psychological waves of what people do as a real naked person, as we are all naked in this world already. We just covered. You know what I'm saying? Like when we first came in this world, we was naked, but now we cover it and we act like we still not naked. You know what I'm saying? But me, I still see like the whole world naked. You know what I'm saying? Like that, so to say. But I just hope that you know that changes. I guess like in the gaming world, like I feel like Grand Theft Auto, like they still miss a lot of things in the world that they could make their game better on. But I'm not gonna go deep into detail. It's just up to them if they really want to become better game developers or just ordinary game developers. You know, they want to be extraordinary or ordinary. It's like up to you. But
Right.
I want to be extraordinary. You know? I'm just like I feel like I could be Dr. Phil
The first
because of the
priority is
games
to
that I
release the
want to
prisoners to keep the
put
truth
out there,
sensitive.
and then
You
also
want to
make
keep
a
us some
point
kind of
upon
security
because
terminal.
this happened back in the day, like
Security
with
terminal should
Biggie
be
and
somewhere nearby.
Tupac and all that type of stuff. Like I'm just really that hip. Like I'm like the type. I'm like, yo, who killed Biggie? Who killed Tupac? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Where's the justice in that? And y'all keep saying that y'all some justifiable people and all this other stuff. It's like me. I kind of want to, dig deeper. But that's just me throwing that out there, yo. That's just my thing. And then also I heard EA
Find
Sports.
it and patch
Well, I'm not even
ICD.
gonna put EA Sports in. I'm just know
Get it
EA
in. Set
period
up those
itself
cells.
is basically
And the
up for
cells are
grabs,
open.
and somebody needs to buy that. And I think that would be a big thing. Of course, like it's hard to buy that company right now because nobody can afford it after just spending so much money. But I think somebody should buy that. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think that's an important, company also important. Like I don't know how that's going to work out, but I'm just throwing that out there. That's basically up for grabs. And the hard, they got the Hogwarts,
Hogwarts.
yeah,
Training
thank
area is
you.
downstairs.
Over here having a
Hogwarts
stroke.
Legacy, Hogwarts Legacy, and Ghostwire Tokyo. Like these games are supposedly, supposed to come out soon. I don't know if they came out already, but
Probably not.
people are highly anticipated for that. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that game comes out very soon because we need some certain type of exclusives on Xbox. We don't have enough exclusives for us to be like, look, you should try this and that and the third. But I was
I
listening to
believe in
people.
that as well. We don't really have too many exclusives on this one.
Yeah,
PlayStation's run a whole lot more, because I guess they've got a little more money
I don't know. I
to
think they
spend.
got a little more dedication. Like people are dedicated to making their favorite system better. Like you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people really love PlayStation. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
That is true.
somebody loves something, they usually stand by it strongly in a way where it stands out, and that's what they're doing with the exclusive.
That is
And
true.
Xbox got all the money in the world, but do they have all the dedicated, workers in the world? I don't think so. He's trying to build a dedication now on Phil Spencer personally because he's noticing that, and I hope that from what I'm seeing and hearing, that he's really gaining that trust from people to where he could let them truly express themselves to make things like more interesting to where we finally get those exclusives. But that's the reason I don't want to work for the company because it's like, damn, yo, if I really put my heart and mind and soul into this, are you gonna stop me from doing this, or are you gonna really believe in this and stand by me on this? Like, oh, that would be dope, like this, that, and the third. It's so much that goes on behind the doors, and people just do unforgivable things. I feel like in a way, so it's just like I don't know, but I know Hogwarts Legacy and Ghostwire Tokyo. A lot of people are very highly anticipated for those games. Like I heard people talking about that. And I know this is the greatest news right here for us both. I still didn't get to play five yet, but Gears of War 6 was spoken about. I was like,
And
oh crap,
waiting.
I
Still waiting.
want it. I want that.
I want to
I ain't get.
know the last ending of the story. I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't quite played it just yet.
I ain't get to play it, man.
But
I,
I I would really, really, really like to see what happens next because
mhm,
stuff is like the backstory of some stuff has actually gotten pretty good.
mhm.
It's highly
True Sons seem
anticipated
to
at
be in
this point,
control of
trying
the
to
holding
figure out
area. The
how is
hyenas are
certain
knocking
stuff
out
going to
security
play out,
cameras. Pretty
who's going
smart
to
of them.
become who, what's their goal, what are they going to try to do next, like that kind of stuff. And seeing how Marcus Phoenix's son,
Mm.
kind of makes me wonder what's going to happen next now, considering that it's not exactly on his end of the story anymore.
Oh, wow, that's deep. I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
I haven't looked at any of the gameplay because I want to play it instead of watching somebody play it because
That's why I said I didn't want to spoil it
yeah,
because
you know what I'm saying. I love Gears now. Like I didn't begin with Gears, but I've learned to love it so much because of how impressive they became with it. You know what I'm saying? Like they just made everything about it interesting. I was just like, yo, that's amazing. Now they on six, but six is supposedly coming out like 2024. We was talking about.
24.
Yeah, they're saying 2024, but I feel like sometimes they might push things a little bit more early for like they try and make that money and all that stuff and everything. I don't know, but that's
Either
what
that
they
or
going
because of COVID, there's probably delays behind it as well. We are in the
on.
copes. I say the
Yeah.
copes. I don't even know if that's a word. I keep saying that. We're I'm having a stroke. Help, Mike.
What do you mean you having a stroke?
Help.
Don't scare me like that. You for real? You okay?
No, Nick, if I was having a stroke, it would sound a lot worse.
I know. That's what I would think, yo. You'd be over there screaming or something. Like, I don't know. Wow. Wow.
But what was I getting at? Because we're in the course of a pandemic,
Mhm.
it's made it kind of complicated for people to kind of jump
Just lost the
back
camera feed from
into
the
the
holding
swing of
area. There
things.
was a bright flash and then
There's
static.
been a lot of loss, a lot of difficult times for pretty much everybody. So with uh, with that being said, delays are sure to happen for more than one reason within the gaming community, as far as certain game titles that we all know and love to play, for them to come out on time. So I'm not really too surprised that Gears of War is kind of late on the uptake with trying to go on ahead and publish things, but they're probably looking for the right time to do it as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to drop it
Picked up on camera again. The holding
maybe
area is
sometime
just ahead.
during later
Once you
this
find that
year
laptop, grab it and
if
Okay.
get the
they've
hell out of there.
gotten up to it. But I don't know, because I think Gears 5 has been out for maybe a
Since
little over a year
2019,
now. Since
they said
2019?
20. They
Oh, then
said
yeah, they
2019.
then yeah they gotta drop something then. I say the same way that I've been procrastinating on posting stuff too, because the half of me is not only doing adult stuff, but another half of me doesn't know what to play. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know like what people might be interested in other than certain things revolving around TikTok memes. Not saying that I can't do the exact same thing, but
Or
that takes time. It takes a minute for a comedian to come up with a good joke. Not everything he does is spot
I
on.
don't know. I don't know. I felt in my past time of gaming, I think I was like the Kevin Hart of gaming with this stuff. It was just people had to hear more. What's the next stand up going on? I don't know. Like I was just that amusing to people. I try to. I
North
think
or
the
south
reason why it's
side?
funny because it's real. I'm being sincere about it. It's not like
With all those
trying to be
kids
mean
circling
or
North
nothing. It's
exit,
just
should be
like, yo,
closer.
this really happened. Da da da. And they like, ha ha ha. Like I just
Me
posted a thing
personally, I
today.
understand it.
Where you understand? See exactly.
Yeah,
You
because
understand?
I was with you. I understood it because I
Yeah,
gamed with you. I spent time
yeah.
literally doing all this stuff alongside just playing games with you. So I get it. But it's different for me
Uh,
because me as a person, like, I gotta think for a second about a joke, or it's gotta be something that happens within the moment in order for it to be like hella funny. So my comedy is normally situational comedy.
mhm.
So if it happens, when it happens, it'll be funny.
Yeah. Word. I think I feel like current event type comedy. Like I think
Hmm.
mine's is just like a current event type. Yeah, because
Yours
I'm
is
like,
too,
oh, this happened.
especially in games. Like you had very different kind of yeah, you had a different kind of character whenever you played a game, especially when we played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Or because I just like doing like people's voices. I like imitating things. I like. I just love humor. Period. You know what I'm saying? I just love comedy. Yo, I grew up loving comedy. I grew up listening to funny people. You know, like I used to love Jamie Foxx all the time growing up. What else did I listen to? Well, we used to watch. What's that? Oh, Prince of Bel Air. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
they were funny.
Everybody
Like Will
loves
Smith.
that one.
Yeah. Martin. I can't forget
Yep.
about Martin, y'all. Like those main three right there. I'm just gonna throw that big three. Was like the main people I was focused on. I'm just like, wow, can I be like that? But for what I like to do on a daily basis, like how would I make that work? But as you get older and times get more serious, it seems like what's funny is not even funny no more and everything. That's what I hated because I was just like, damn, yo, I would literally take myself away from what's really going on in the world and put myself in my own world just to make sure like I don't lose like the happy side of me and the the joyful side of me just to stay, humorful, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like
You could
but
never lose your humorful side, because that's the part of
I
you
lost it
that's.
though. I feel like I lost it, because of all these things I've been dealing with. I've just been broken and
You've been
I
going
don't
through a lot, and I
oh
I
my
completely
god, yo.
understand that.
Yeah.
Like you and I have both been going through a lot, but I
Yeah.
try to keep my head up high as much as possible.
Word.
You know what I mean?
Uh,
Never want
Word
to
to the
let that
song,
stuff
yo.
hold you down.
When I made that song True Profit, literally when I went to the Nike store, I just did it, you know what I'm saying? Like literally like where Microsoft was over here trying to play mine and I couldn't even stay in their store like how I used to. And like I went to the Nike store, I went to the church first. And I went to the Nike store, I gave it to God. I was like, this is for God right here. And then I made with my right hand only. I just made the ball go in and pass it again. And I made it with the left hand. I was like, that's true profit right there. You know what I'm saying? Like boom, you know what I'm saying? Like and literally shooting like a 70-foot shot or whatever, how long that was. It was a big shot, yo, and then making it on somebody's shoe because we all love sneakers and all that. And I was just like, yo, I feel like I'm making a point on a lot of things, yo, that most people miss. But I think I'm doing pretty well about it because I know I try. I don't just be like, it's out of my hands. I try. I like to, I care. Very
Oh, have
fatherful,
to
I guess. You
agree.
know what I'm saying? Like I like to be the dad on a lot of things. I guess I like to be the bigger person on things. Like I just that's just how I was raised. But on to the other news. Um, People are looking forward to Redfall, Starfield, Fable. Fable has been spoken about since like Xbox One first came out, and it still hasn't released like a Fable yet. Like I think that's just out to me, but no telling when some of these other games are releasing. So we could look forward to other titles like Perfect Dark. I haven't played Perfect Dark since like the Game Boy. I had that shit on like the Game Boy Color, and then State of Decay and About. Now I don't know if you've been participating, but have you heard of some of these games like Perfect Dark, State of Decay, About? Like,
State of Decay, yes, because I played that very heavy. Uh, for anybody that doesn't know what it is, it's an RPG styled video game where you're basically trying to fend off against the army of the undead. Uh, you use several different characters to kind of go through your story. Everybody's story can be entirely different depending on the circumstances, and the characters are all different as well. They
oh,
come with
that's dope.
different attributes. Um, you resupply your base, you get weapons, you make infirmaries, you can create armor. Uh, just the whole goal is to just basically survive. Now, some people have went and tried to compare this kind of game with like 7 Days to Die, but I don't know if that's entirely accurate. Um, but you'll just have to play it for yourself to kind of understand it. It's a third-person game. They've already came out with a second one, uh, as well as the Juggernaut edition. with a couple of different DLC drops as well. I think the game's somewhere around maybe 30, 40 bucks. It's pretty dope.
I'm
But
glad you
yeah,
just told me that. I learned from you on that. I'm just letting you know. That's
what's
why
that?
on the avowed, like speech you just gave, I didn't really look in too deep on avowed. Like, but I didn't know that it had different characters that you can use. It's something. What you put? Can you put that again? Can you like?
Can I explain it again as far as characters?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So think about it like kind of like how Watch Dogs went and said that you can use different
Oh,
NPCs.
mm-hmm.
This is kind of
Elaborate.
like the
That's the.
same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to say that this game kind of introduced that whole thing, and then Watch Dogs kind of took it and then just broadened it on a wider spectrum. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, State of Decay, you can use different characters that you find out in the open, like if you save them and then you recruit them into your base.
Oh, you can
Uh,
use the character after that.
yep,
Oh, I didn't know that. You just put me on. Like, I didn't even know. That's good to know.
yeah.
Is it like that on the second one, or this is their first time doing something like that?
It's like that on the second one, yeah.
Okay, wow. Okay,
hmm
shit.
And then
I
the
didn't.
cool
I
thing
never got to
is,
try
you can
certificate.
jump to different maps as well. So once you've gotten done kind of defeating a boss within a certain area, you know, you
Mm-hmm.
can move to another area, and then the map is entirely different. The circumstances you go through will be different, and then you're basically starting from scratch, and you can only bring 3 people that you that you had from the last map.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else has to stay,
Oh,
and then you're just starting all over again.
wow. And you seen like videos for the Avowed too?
For what now?
Avowed.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. I was wondering too. Like, I didn't get to look deeply into that, but of course, I guess that's just for another video or another time. But yeah, I gotta look deeply into that one. But I know that was one of the high anticipated games that people want to really play and get into. 'Cause that's what they
Oh
was
yeah.
talking about. Yeah. Um,
You have
word to
received a
Mario on
signal
that
to
one.
another
Sound like
agent's
Mario.
work.
Um,
Oh yeah.
Microsoft. What was this? They thought I was crazy for saying this, but someone just, I was watching and understood. I was like, because Forza has been increasing sales since the fifth one came out. So what I said was Microsoft had potential to beat Sony because of Forza and Halo Infinite. And usually Halo always do well also because it's Halo. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And um I just thought that was a good point. But we still need more exclusives as we go back into that again. And that's why all those other games like Avowed, I think that's going to be exclusive. State of Decay is an exclusive.
Positive
We need you to
Um,
secure a skyscraper.
I know Perfect Dark
Next
is
time.
on
Don't let the
PlayStation. I
agents
think
catch
I'm
us.
not sure. I think, but I try to stick to the exclusive. So I know Starfield is an exclusive, and then Fable's an exclusive, and I'm not sure. Like Perfect Dark, I think was that a PlayStation exclusive or Xbox exclusive?
I
Like,
honestly don't know, so
oh,
I
okay.
couldn't tell you.
So we gotta dig deeper, yo. And then there's something about the Xbox cloud gaming. They need to clean up supposedly. Like we need more cleaning up on that. In aisle 9 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like they need to clean that up like that. So because things is not working smooth. I don't know how, but people, I guess it's like back to that other thing like Grand Theft Auto, like how you play the game and then you see somebody's hands messed up or something like that. I guess it's that messed up. I don't know. It's just wild to me, yo. But yeah, it's Xbox Cloud Gaming needs to be cleaned up, and then they still working on the next gen version titles of certain games that didn't come out yet. I don't know if you are aware of that, but there's certain games that are still for like not the Xbox One, but it's not for the Xbox Series X yet. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So hopefully that'll happen more sooner than later. I'm pretty sure they're working on that. But they have certain titles, and I think I don't know if Cyberpunk was one of them. I think Cyberpunk was one of the games they brought up that they need to migrate this to the next system. You know what I'm saying? Like they need to move that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That game, dude, I got so much high praise for that game. A lot of people gave it a lot of crap
Yeah.
when it first dropped, and I'm sure a lot of us understand that there were a mass amount of bugs with Cyberpunk 2077.
Really. They got
But
a new patch 1.5
yeah, they
supposedly coming.
fixed a lot of stuff, so it's well more
Right.
optimized than it was before, and it performs a lot better than it used to. A lot less bugs, a lot less glitches. You're not falling through the map. You don't trip on a curb and die. Stuff like
Damn, you
that
was
is,
doing yes, wow. But that's
yeah,
really
that was pretty bad.
like
But
damn, I ain't know it was that real. You sure that was
yeah, it was mad stupid.
patch? You sure that was not just like real shit? Like
Yeah, you would just like come out of nowhere during a gunfight. You like trip on a curb and just fall out. It would just say you're
wow,
flatlined.
I'm dead, yo. You know what I'm saying? That's wild, yo. That's crazy.
Yeah, look at funny little clips of people going through different kinds of glitches in the game. It's ridiculous. But a lot of
Wow.
stuff more now is like a lot of stuff now is a lot more optimized. You should be able to play it a little easier. So if you haven't jumped into Cyberpunk 2077, give it another shot. Update the game. If you're playing on PC, uh, make sure that your graphics card is up to date, because
Oh,
it could give it a run for its money.
alright. You get the Series X or you on the one still?
Nope, I'm still on my brick.
Oh man, I'm
Call it my brick, because it's basically a brick.
heard you. Wow.
But yeah, I'm trying to. I gotta do stuff first before I can immediately switch all the way up to a one. What is it? Series X.
Mhm.
I hate that they did that. Why did they
Only Lord knows.
switching the name all
Only Lord knows, yo. And did you know like the 1.5 they adding summarize, like they added like a samurai theme, and then they added new guns, a new
Sorry.
game.
And what game is this?
This is Cyberpunk 2077. I'm still on that topic, and they said their idea theory is literally why did I do that? It's like they adding summarize. But don't take my word for it, because supposedly it's just in the air, like they're just throwing it out there. And they added new gigs, a new barber shop, and like new everything. You know what I'm saying? Like they just took my word for what I was
Word.
reading upon.
Okay.
But the new guns, new gigs, and new barber shop. That's basically what they added, and supposedly samurai clothing, I guess, and themes and such matter. I don't know, but this is what they basically spoke upon the other day when I was listening to the whole, I guess, podcast of somebody else's work and everything, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. But yeah, that's what they was talking about. I still got more of the stuff of who I was listening to listen to more on that upon, because this person has been working for like the past 6 months and they've been very consistent. So proud of how they're doing that, and like they've been giving me a lot of info I didn't even know about until just recent, that I should know about, but yeah, that's what's taking place basically.
Nice.
Yeah. Right, did you ever see the new Aya Neo? Did you see that?
Here we go with this again.
I love that joint, man. I gotta bring that up, man. That joint is fire, yo. I couldn't believe they did it. Like, cause this is what you would expect from like Nintendo, and Nintendo just put out some stuff where they talking about they canceled the Nintendo Pro, and I was like, why the hell would you cancel that, yo? Because people are really looking forward to that, and y'all just take it away because other people that decided to take it upon themselves to just create what they are asking for. And y'all just backed out of it as if it's not important. I would think it's important to them because their whole console is built upon like, mobility. So I would think they would be as you know what I'm saying, like as in informed and as in what I'm saying. I can't even think of the word for it right now. I'm just bugging. But I would just think they would just really be involved like that. But you know what I'm saying? But
Well, they may have
yeah,
future plans coming up, because a lot of gaming now is starting to branch out. Virtual
yeah,
reality gaming is starting to become a thing, but I guess that'll be a different topic for a different video.
yeah.
Um,
I
something,
understand.
something in the future.
Wow. But sure, that's all the gaming news today. I appreciate everybody for listening to me as Young Weezy 16, aka Mighty Healthy, aka the greatest of all time. I feel yo. And then thank y'all for listening to Pizza. Pizza, you have anything you want to say to the people? You know what I'm saying? Let them know.
Yeah, I want to thank y'all for coming out here, you know what I'm saying, man? We out here rocking and yo. I love you.
Wow. I love it though.
Appreciate
You know
y'all
what I'm saying?
for coming in and listening in on what we
Yeah.
have to say. We'll try to bring up a few
Wow.
more different kinds of topics. As far as gaming news is concerned, within the next coming days or so, and understand that we've been very inactive. Being an adult is complicated, um,
Really.
but we will have more stuff to come. Thank you all for anybody else who's become a new user to the channel. If you haven't already, go on ahead and hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to find out and listen to more incoming game content that we'll have in store for y'all, as well as little funny snippets and comedic gameplay, because we'll be having that soon to come eventually, as well as the Gaming Bruh movement. For those of you who don't know what that is a little series that I had on my channel for a little bit. I'm gonna go on ahead and bring that back for y'all. So that will be soon to come. Until then, Mike, any final last words that you'd like to? Actually, I have a question. When did you catch on that I was recording?
When you told
This man lagged like crazy. What was that?
when you told me to put the headset on, I know you usually want me to have a headset on at all times if we're going to record something because you don't want the audio to be out of whack. So usually to prevent that, you need to put on, some earpiece with a microphone, and that's what I did, and that's when I figured out you was doing that. So I was like, oh,
Huh, so he was way ahead of the game.
you gotta be ahead, yo. Shit, that's how you play the game for real, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you let people be like, oh, I'm gonna beat you because I got $10,000 in my pocket, they gonna win, yo. So it's like that, yo. You gotta be like, oh, word, oh, word, you got 10,000. You don't think I could take that? Oh, okay, bet. And then it's like you just gotta be ahead of the game, no matter what, how long it's been. You gotta jump in. You know what I'm saying? It's like I ain't played basketball in forever, but for some reason I can't miss my first shot usually. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I
Really?
feel. Yeah, man, it's a special thing, yo. So I feel like it made like a after effect of other people doing their shot pretty special too. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I've been seen, I've been heard, I've been understood, and all these things. And I hope my instinct, one day lives forever, like how Bruce Lee instinct lives forever. Because I feel like a lot of things he taught, they still live today. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, yeah, of course, to
word.
anybody who decides to listen to him anyway. But aside from that, that's all we got to talk about today. Um,
Word.
we will holler at y'all
Peace and
guys
love,
next time.
people. Peace
Uh,
and love, yo.
I am Pizza. probably gonna be changing my name soon. I'm not sure when, but I am Pizza. Hit me up, Pizza Gaming, and I'm out.
Word.
Peace.
Wow, real nerds, yo.
Oh right, real nerds only. It's
You
been
can
so
add that
long.
Word, yo. I was like, but I want them to know you're a piece of game, and you right, and
Right,
you're
you're right.
also a part of real
So you
nerds.
remember your little jingle that you did right at the end?
I don't remember. I forgot how I do
You
it.
don't
Man.
remember the jingle that you did at the end of your own intro?
Real nerds only. And that's how I did it, huh? Like that.
Yes, sir.
Word. I heard you.